Hi there, Naveri is here, and I welcome you back to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Apparently, we finished chapter 9 last time, and it ended up in a cliffhanger as usual. Actually, Professor Layton called out for the final witness. Everything is final lately in this game. And that witness is no one but the storyteller himself. I'm sorry for the pause there. It was dramatic, wasn't it? Let's continue and let's hear out what storyteller has to tell us. Turns out we had a surprise witness on our hands, the victim himself, the storyteller. Well, this means that if the storyteller is still alive, then no one died, and we can just even stop this trial. No? Then again, nothing surprises me anymore. The secret behind Labyrinthia, the legendary fire, witches, magic, and finally, Bezella. The veil was just about to be lifted off of these mysteries once and for all. Okay everyone, it's high time we end this. Let's give Labyrinthia the fresh start it deserves and solve these mysteries. Let's do it. Can't wait. Oh, it's a pillock. The first story. Okay. Strange that it's a pillock because previously the game didn't really end up in story wise. I mean, I don't quite know what to say. I am truly shocked to see the storyteller again, alive and well. This was unexpected by me too, as I did not plan to appear before you all again. I was convinced that you would all see the last of me at the parade. But this is the trial for your murder, and you're alive, which means there should be no trial. Yeah, see? No one was killed. So let's call this whole thing off and never have witch trials again. Whoa, Maya, take it easy. We're still in court, remember? No, she's right. But what's the point of this? The storyteller wasn't killed. Espella would never do anything to harm her dad. Objection. If only it was as simple as that to end this trial. Remember, it is not... However, it is not Miss Faye. But, Professor! Search your memory and you will know the reason why. The crime Miss Cantabella is accused of is not just murder. The purpose of witches' court is to sentence the witches for what they are. Isn't that right, Mr. Storyteller? But we just found out that there's no witches. Apparently, there's no magic. Hence no witches. I fully intend to expose the true identity of Bezella, and this would not be possible without you, Mr. Storyteller, on the witness stand. I see. And so, you assumed the role of an inquisitor just to lure me here. Be that as it may, the Inquisition still maintain that Espella Cantabella is the great witch Bezella. Dad. It's been a long time, Espella. 4 years, in fact. You must have experienced many hardships living among the townsfolk. This daughter of mine never fits in with the others, no matter how hard she tries. No, it wasn't quite like that. There were people who supported me. Aunt Patty was very kind, and the customers who came to our bakery were nice to me.
I'm happy to hear that. I wanted to watch over you ever since you left for the town. But in the end, I failed to do so. I had no idea what was happening to you. I am very sorry, Spella.
Oh, Dad, you don't need to apologize to me for anything. It's me that owes you an apology. I was trying to hurt you.
It was all my fault, not yours. There's no reason for you to blame yourself.
Dad, I'm happy we got to talk. Spella. You were so busy writing everyone's stories that we stopped talking to each other. Before, it was different. You used to have time for me.
Please forgive me. Why did it have to come to this? Mr. Storyteller, it's time to put everything in order now. The townsfolk and your daughter deserve to know the truth. The truth about yourself and the story. Yes, I suppose it is time I told the truth. Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Storyteller? Let us begin. In this trial, I shall be judged. Huh? Understood. The witness shall testify.
But he said he should be judged.
People of Labyrinthia who have gathered in this court, I will now tell you the true story. Many of you will certainly find it hard to believe and difficult to accept. Nevertheless, I ask you to please lend me an ear and listen with open minds. Espella, my dear daughter, I ask you to do the same too. Although you know me as the storyteller, I have one more identity.
Oh my god, my cat is going crazy.
I am the president of Labrellum Incorporated.
What?
This whole town is one of Labrellum's research facilities. It may be hard for you to comprehend. This land is rich in a very special substance which affects everyone who lives here. This substance enables the manipulation of people's minds, and that is what Labrellum is researching. It's like an umbrella or something.
Nola, stop running away like crazy! Why are you crazy?
Go away, please.
No. Okay, she lays down. No, don't touch Mike. Sorry, guys. She has moments like that sometimes, being running around and stop it. Okay. Don't touch things. But when I try to not let her touch things, she's getting aggressive and tries to bite me. Okay. This experiment began 10 years ago. The townsfolk all became test subjects. Are you kidding me?
I don't understand. What does it all mean? I don't quite understand what I've just heard. I do not blame you. I suppose all the townsfolk are just as confused. Labyrinthia is an artificial town created entirely by me. But of course, as artificial as it may be, it is the reality for those that live here. For the past 10 years, I have been bringing the illusion to life by writing the story. I am lost for words. It feels as if the whole world has been turned on its head. Your Honor, it is certainly not as easy a matter to grasp this new situation at once. Regardless, I suggest we hear more of what the witness has to say. Yes, I agree. Let's continue. The defense may begin the interrogation.
Thank you, Your Honor, though I have no idea what to start with. I mean, this whole statement here. Yeah. He just presents it so easily. Let's not waste our time here, and we're gonna... Okay, only first one.
Hold it!
Come on, brace it, Phoenix. This is too much. I don't even know where to start. Liberum Inc. That's a name I have heard before. It is a global pharmaceutical company with headquarters in England. Pharmaceutical, of course! Just like Umbrella. If my memory serves me right, it was founded by Arthur Cantabella. That's him.
Indeed. That is my true name.
Were you familiar with that, Mr. Wright?
Sure, yeah, I've heard of
I can't even damn pronounce that. Labrillum Incorporated, of course. Labrillum Inc. is known for developing a completely harmless anesthetic about 20 years ago. It is now widely used in hospitals all around the world. The company is also working on various other plant-derived sedatives, revolutionizing medicine.
I suppose I shouldn't be surprised by your vast knowledge, Mr. Layton.
Objection!
That's irrelevant. That fact is just based on the real world we are from, not Labyrinthia. The real world, Mr. Wright? Then what would you call the world we are in now? Do you think this is a fantasy? No, that's not quite what I mean. Mr. Wright, I do not mean to be so rude as to presume I know what thoughts are running through your mind. However, Labyrinthia is certainly not a place within a book or in the past. Labyrinthia is a part of the world we know. Huh? What? Well, it kind of, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's something you realize just once storyteller just said the word about it, that it's all the experiment. I don't see why Phoenix is so surprised about it. But how could a town like this exist in the real world? Do you think it's impossible? Why would that be? Are you saying that everyone would know about an unusual town like this? If it existed? It's something like that. Anyway, it would be on a map, or at least.
No. I'm afraid that cannot be so.
Huh?
This town is not marked on any map. It doesn't officially exist.
What do you mean?
The answer is quite simple.
This whole town, yeah.
Hold it!
This whole town is a research facility?
Yes. This whole area is a private property of Labrellum Incorporated.
So they own all this land then?
That is why Labyrinthia is not marked on any map, and people from the outside cannot enter. We have taken measures to ensure that this town is not noticed by local residents.
Though somehow Phoenix and Maya and Professor Layton and Luke also ended up in here. What measures are you talking about? Consider the fact that magic is supposed to exist in this town. Perhaps special mechanisms that were used to create magic also serve to conceal Labyrinthia. There are limits to what magic the Shades are capable of producing on their own, after all. That is the case indeed. The magic in this town has been made visible owing to the latest technology.
Technology? Tricks? I cannot believe this.
However, there is one question. There is no industry in Labyrinthia. How do you obtain necessary commodities?
Very observant, aren't you? All commodities are regularly shipped in by sea. A young man once made his way here on a freighter and took a spell out of the town.
That was Carmine Accidenti, a friend of mine. I see. So what happened to Carmine? Is he dead? But is something on this scale really possible? As you might suspect, it would be beyond the power of Labrellum Inc. to keep a facility this size a secret for so long. Labyrinthia is a project co-funded by the British government.
What? It's a government project? But what would be their stake in this?
This is so crazy.
It's all because of my beliefs.
His beliefs?
By the way.
Yes, Your Honor.
What is a research facility? I've never heard of anything like that before.
Yes, that was careless of me. Naturally, you would know what it means. How should I explain? This whole town is my creation.
That's what it's about. In other words, it's all your story. That makes it all clear.
Swing and a miss, Your Honor. Getting back to the topic. There is an important reason why we have chosen to build such a facility here. Yes. Special substance? What does it actually do? This area has been isolated since incident times, developing its own unique culture. There are underground ruins on the verge of the town. We have found writings there, presumably left by natives of this land. A bell that was supposed to be there was missing. So you have seen the ruins. I suspected that you would find them. Then perhaps you have also noticed that everyone who lives here has a very peculiar condition.
Peculiar condition, you say? I can't just sit here quietly like a patient old man when you're saying such things. Just what kind of condition is that?
You have every right to know. This condition makes people fall unconscious upon the sound of a certain metal being struck. Metal? What kind of metal? Pure silver. And so there is not a single object made of silver in Labyrinthia. Now that I think of it, that's true. Just imagine what a disaster a fancy dinner would be if everyone fainted whenever they used silver cutlery. Yeah. This condition is an integral part of magic. How so? All inhabitants of Eldritch Woods carry small silver bells. I see now. The Shades ring the bells when they need to create the illusion of magic. That's how... Okay, so yeah, that's how they replaced Layton with this. Everyone present falls unconscious and the Shades set to their work. Oh, look at where that shade's hand was. So that's the secret of the time stealing magic Darklow told us about. How do shades do not fall unconscious? Now that they mention it. Huh. Kira had a small bell with her when we saw her back at the marketplace. We have been researching this condition at Labrelamink, and finally we discovered its cause. It was the groundwater. Water causes it? The groundwater contains a certain unique substance found in the soil in this area. So if you drink that water, you get this silver allergy thing?
But of course we have been drinking it. It's impossible to live without water.
Of course. That's why everyone who lives here has that condition.
Oh dear.
You needn't worry. This condition is harmless, especially as silver is unknown to the townsfolk. Something's still not quite right, though. If the sound of the silver bells makes people pass out, why don't the shades pass out too? Yeah, that's exactly the question I had. Although the effect of the substance is in the groundwater is powerful, it doesn't last long. The condition will vanish after a day or so without drinking that water. That's convenient. That substance's effects aren't limited to humans. It can also affect plants to a great extent. Plants are affected by it? Huh? Our research was focused on the plants rather than humans, just like Umbrella's experience also. They were first focused on plants. Remember that plant we fought in first game of Resident Evil? Never mind. Enables manipulation of people's minds. That sounds really scary. Just what is this about? The substance enters the groundwater, affecting organisms that consume it. People who drink it daily acquire that odd condition. They fall unconscious upon hearing the sound of silver metal. Yes. Although the substance in the groundwater also has a tremendous effect on plants, wildflowers in this area contain a certain poison.
Up on my beard! Poison?
This poison doesn't harm the body. It has the effect of manipulating the mind. So it brainwashes people. I've been writing this story for 10 years. The title of the story is Hysteria Labyrinthia. The ink I used to write it was made from those plants. Oh, Nick, do you remember how funny the ink smelled? That was the gas released when the ink evaporates. And that's where the trick is. What? Those that inhale the gas become extremely susceptible to suggestion. You mean brainwashing? They will believe anything they are told, or anything they read, however strange or unrealistic. It will be imprinted into their minds as the truth. So that was the true purpose of the parades. Huh. Yeah, everyone would pick up these things to read, you know. Pages of the story written in that special ink were regularly distributed among the townspeople. It was done so that everyone would be in the state of hypnosis. Indeed. The creation of a fully controlled town with the inhabitants subject to long-term hypnosis. That was one of the topics of our research. Then, the story that is written in the Hysteria Labyrinthia. You could call it a self-fulfilling prophecy realized through the shade's work and the hypnotic effect of the ink vapors.
Is that how it was all this time?
Labellum used hypnosis to control all these people. I can't believe that the government was supporting that. That's insane.
Hold it!
10 years ago, huh? All the people subjected to this experiment. Sorry, skipped it. No, we started with just a few people, gradually getting more and more. I must say that I am afraid of what the answer to this question might be, but where did these people come from? You haven't resorted to abduction by any chance, have you?
Of course not. Every test subject signed a contract with Labellum.
A contract to have their memories erased and be used like pawns in a story? Well, you know, some people may actually go do something like that willingly.
The current inhabitants of this town have one thing in common. They were all dissatisfied with their lives and wanted to start anew, forgetting about their mistakes, forsaking unwanted identities. There are more people like that out there than you might think.
Yeah, true.
They have all agreed to participate in our research.
But that's insane. Well, that's not really if they actually wanted to participate in this. I mean, why not?
It's not as unreasonable as you suggest. We give them a new identity, a chance to start their life again. In return, they subject themselves to hypnosis and live in this town as our test subjects. In order for this project to be possible, we suppress their memories of the past, including the memory of signing the contract. So ultimately, they are not aware of what is going on.
I couldn't agree more.
I've got no idea what's going on.
Yeah, whole time. You definitely don't.
Let me make this clear, Mr. Wright. We do not erase their memories. We suppress them. They will regain their memories of life before Labyrinthia once their contract is over.
So, this place was inhabited before you started this research 10 years ago. And you've managed to keep everyone in a state of hypnosis for 10 years straight? Can you really hypnotize someone for that long? I mean, 10 years is one heck of a long time. It was achieved through the distribution of story during parades. The ink vapors have a powerful effect, but it wouldn't last 10 years, of course. With each parade, the effect was renewed. That's why the parades took place at regular intervals. That was the true purpose of that event.
I have been born and raised here. It was a poor small town with no industry to speak of, that had fallen behind the times. Ever since I was a child, I had one friend that was especially close to me. He was a bright boy, curious about the world. His name was Newton Belduke. Sir Newton Belduke? The alchemist?
Yeah, a handsome one. So they were childhood friends. The plot thickens.
He had always been interested in unique natural features of this land. There was really nothing more. I mean, nothing here. But to us, this area was an exciting place worth exploring. And one day, we made an astonishing discovery on the outskirts of the town. We stumbled upon the entrance to the underground caverns leading to the colossal ruins.
Whoa, look at that, Newton. This is so amazing. And this strange writing. I've never seen anything like it before. We found ancient writings in the ruins. Newton managed to decode some of them. According to our findings, a highly advanced culture had existed in the land where our little town was built. Some great calamity had befallen the natives, and they migrated elsewhere. They believed that plants and water in that area were cursed by an entity they called the Great Witch Bezella. The natives sealed the curse within the ruins and left in search of a new home. That is all that we managed to decipher. Bezella's curse. It was sealed in the ruins, you say? Would that be the Bell of Ruin? The Bell of Ruin. Oh, that's the bell from Bell Tower. I wonder why it's got an ominous name like that. Regrettably, we couldn't get any further information from the writings at that time. Needless to say, Newton and I were very excited by the discovery. I knew it! This place is special. It has some kind of mysterious power. If we could find out what that is, our humble town would become famous. You know what? I'm going to do that. I will unravel the mystery of this place. And so Newton began studying the indigenous plants and substances dissolved in the ground's water. On the other hand, I studied economics and management at the university in London. I dreamed of bringing prosperity to this poor, forgotten town. I wanted to change it for the better with my own hands. Meanwhile, Newton had succeeded in extracting a new anesthetic from the local plants. Was that the anesthetic which led to the foundation of Labellum? Yes, it was a huge success for Labellum Inc. And before we knew it, we were making a fortune. We wanted the whole world to hear about our hometown. Alas, fate was not kind to us, as we never realized that dream. Everyone in our town had died. All the townspeople perished. Huh? What?
Just what on earth happened to them?
That does not matter anymore. We purchased the environs of our time, the mountains, the lake, the plains, everything. Then, 10 years ago, having received financial support from the government, we started Project Labyrinthia. It was much smaller in the beginning. It started as no more than a village. Over the course of 10 years, it slowly grew into a town. The population increased as well. More people were signing the contract with the Labellum, slowly increasing the number of inhabitants, correct? Yes.
They would sign a contract, be hypnotized and assigned a role, and then be introduced to the world of the story.
That is crazy.
I have spoken at length. Thank you for patiently listening to my tale. Bezella is the name of the witch from an ancient legend that we read about in the ruins. It is a fictional character. She does not exist. But then, magic and witches. Magic is just an illusion, and there are no witches.
Alright, so it was all fake. That doesn't make it much better. Why did you write a story where people get killed with magic and witches are thrown into the fire. You could have made it peaceful, pleasant world where everyone would be happy. No, that was not possible. But why?
This is a research facility after all. We have researching ways to completely control human. We are researching ways to completely control human beings. Test subjects need to be exposed to extreme situations, so we decided on a fantasy setting. We wouldn't have got funding from the government otherwise. In other words, we are running a business.
But just what instructions do you give to the people you hypnotize? You don't give each of them a full set of memories of their whole fictional life, do you?
No, it's much more simple than that.
We only give them 2 pieces of information. The first one, that they were born in this town, and the second was their new occupation. Then they fill in the gaps themselves. Without being aware of it, the human mind requires a consistent story of one's life. Which means, of course, that no labyrinthian has memories from earlier than 10 years ago. No one has any memories from before they came to Labyrinthia.
What? What are you saying?
That's all one big lie. I am who I am. But can you remember your childhood? I can't. That's true. I can't remember. Even my parents. No way. I can't recall my own mother's face.
As you can hear, no one can remember their real past. There are no exceptions.
Huh? Wait a second. No exceptions? I smell a contradiction here. Really? Ah, it seems Mr. Wright too has noticed it now. I'm gonna save because I have no idea what contradiction you're talking there about.
What are you talking about, Layton?
Mr. Cantabella, you have just testified that not a single citizen of this town remembers anything from more than 10 years ago.
Yes.
That is the truth. No, that's a strange assertion, especially coming from you.
What? What do you mean?
There is one person in this town who remembers what happened more than 10 years ago. Espella?
That cannot be. It is impossible.
They must be merely imagining things now. Mr. Wright, please enlighten us all. Who is this person that remembers their past? I believe it's... what's this? Vigilantes? No. Spella.
Take that!
Precisely, Mr. Wright. That person is none other than Spella Cantabella.
What? That's impossible.
It's true, Dad. I remember it clearly as if it happened yesterday. The legendary fire.
No! That's impossible. That's just your imagination, Spella.
No, it's not. I couldn't remember it before, but it all came back to me. Because I'm Bezella.
No! No! Spella, there is no witches. That fire, it was just a bad dream.
The Inquisition would like to call Spella Cantabella to testify.
What?
Regardless of whether Miss Cantabella is Bezella or not. Her memories may contain valuable clues.
Huh. Yes, that may be so.
No, wait.
I don't agree to this. This trial is over, Your Honor.
Objection.
You seem to be forgetting something, Mr. Cantabella. Your story has ended. You are no longer in control. You are merely one of the characters. And this is also why we will not cease seeking the truth until we find it.
Defense, what is your opinion on this?
Spella keeps insisting that she's the witch Bezella. As her attorney, I should refuse to let her speak to the court. But what's really important now is finding the truth, just as Layton said. There's only one way to proceed with this trial. And that's by questioning Miss Cantabella about her memories.
In that case, the court summons Spella Cantabella as a witness. Attendants, bring the accused to the witness stand.
Okay, now that is interesting.
No, witness. Testify about your memories of the legendary fire.
Yes, my lord. So, storyteller is still sitting there, okay? I was just a little girl then. It happened during the annual fire festival. Everyone was gathered in the town square for the fire festival, and I was watching them from the bell tower. The great witch Bezella awoke within me and brought calamity upon the town. An enormous fire dragon appeared. It was trembling. I was trembling with fear. Oh my god, can't speak. Terrified by what I had summoned.
Witness, what you have told us wasn't a bad dream or a fairy tale, but what you actually experienced?
Yes, it was. Like I have already said. I remember it very clearly. The heat from the fire, the smell of smoke.
Spella, what are you talking about? The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. Was there really a huge fire that destroyed the town? And what about Bezella? Is she even real? The answers are in Spella's testimony. Let's use the hint here.
Hold it!
Can you tell me more about that fire dragon? That monstrous image is still so vivid. It looked just like the one that attacked Dad this evening. Which was a machine, it wasn't a real dragon. I done something terrible again. Then you are sure that the fire dragon you saw more than 10 years ago and the one summoned this evening were exactly the same? Yes, they were definitely the same.
Hang on!
Is something wrong, Mr. Cantabella?
It's impossible. There's no such thing as magic.
You never believe me, Dad. I don't know why you have to be like this. There was a time when things were different.
Spella, what are you saying?
Look at them. It's like a common argument between a teenager and a parent. Mr. Cantabella created this town. He knows better than anyone else that there's no magic here. Miss Cantabella. Yes? Would you mind giving us more details of what you saw? Could I borrow a sheet of parchment and a pencil? I think it will be better if I draw it.
Your request shall be granted. Bring parchment and pencil for the witness immediately.
Wow. She's drawing very nice. This is it. This is the fire dragon that I saw that night. I only caught a glimpse of it, but it was real.
I must say, it does closely resemble the supposedly magical creature we witnessed this evening. It does indeed. This drawing shall be added to the evidence.
This is a farce. What happened over a decade ago? Was the town really destroyed by a fire dragon? Discovering the truth about the dragon shall be our next objective.
Okay. Witness, continue your testimony.
Yes, my lord. Okay.
Hold it!
Do you remember casting a spell? I cannot remember.
Hang on!
You look upset, Mr. Cantabella.
Pardon me. Did you want something?
I'd like to know what you think about Espella's last statement.
My opinion about all this has not changed since last time. It's all just a dream. Listen to me, Espella. You are not Bizella. There was no legendary fire.
Dad, you have no idea how much I want to believe you, but I just can't. I remember what I saw and how it felt. The heat, the smoke.
Magic doesn't exist. It belongs in fairy tales. There are no fire dragons either.
Espella seems certain that she saw a fire dragon at that time. However, as long as we do not have any evidence to support or disprove this claim, we can't have any progress. Do I have any relevant evidence? Do I? I should save. I have only her picture of the dragon. Anything that could demonstrate that the fire dragon Espella saw as a child. Wait, no! I can understand your choice to be cautious with your judgment. However, I must remind you that the only way to discover the whole truth is to bring I actually wanted to say I do have something, but I pressed the wrong one. It is to bring to light the true nature of the dragon witnessed by the accused. I wanted to press the option that I have the evidence, though even I didn't know which one. I guess he has a point there. Maybe I overlooked some clues in the testimony.
Hold it!
Was here. Damn it.
Hang on!
Your Honor,
What is it, defender?
the defense will present evidence.
Evidence? I suppose you mean evidence that will prove that my daughter's memories of the dragon amount to nothing more than wild imagination.
On the contrary, I'm pretty positive Espella did see the dragon.
What? I thought you had more sense in you. Well, aren't we all curious about what the defense has got to show us? Present evidence that proves the dragon appeared in this town over 10 years ago.
Awesome. I have no idea what it could be as an evidence.
Take that!
Sketch? This makes no sense. It is, of course, Aspella's drawing of the dragon. It's impossible to draw a dragon with so much detail unless you have actually seen it.
Indeed. And it looks very much like the fire dragon we saw this evening. It cannot be a mere coincidence.
You can't possibly use that drawing as evidence.
And why not?
Because she could have just drawn the dragon from this evening. But she was unconscious. Dad, why don't you believe me? I saw the dragon when I was little. This town is my creation. I know everything about it. And I assure you there's no magic. If there's anyone who can tell you what's possible and what is not, it is me, the creator of Labyrinthia. Your overconfidence has clouded your judgment and is preventing you from seeing the truth.
What do you mean?
In order to see what is really there, you need to reject biased assumptions and keep an open mind. You are overlooking certain facts precisely because you are the creator of this town.
It's nothing short of insanity.
Magic doesn't exist, and yet Aspella says she saw a fire dragon. It seems like a contradiction, but perhaps it is not. Mr. Wright. Yes? The solution to this mystery is out there. We just need to find it. Do you suppose you know where it is? Magic doesn't exist. Aspella saw a fire dragon. Where is the evidence that bridges the gap between the two? Oh my god. Nola! Stop! What are you doing? You're an old cat. You're not supposed to run around like crazy. Aww. Sorry, guys. Okay, magic doesn't exist. Aspella saw a fire. Where is the evidence? In the town itself? In the town itself. Probably not Belfry. Maybe Belfry. Let's use a hint. Belfry. I knew that it's either this or this another one. In the Belfry. No, probably I'm wrong. There is only one way to explain this contradiction. Aspella somehow saw the dragon, but it wasn't a magical creature.
Then, will you just tell us what it was?
That event took place over 10 years ago. What she saw then should be still in the place where she was at the time.
It's still there?
Yes, Your Honor. And that place is the Belfry. Was I right? It's in the Belfry? Oh, we are right under it. So we don't even need to go all too far. Huh? Over 10 years ago. The witness was standing somewhere around here when she saw a fire dragon. Am I correct? Yes, Mr. Layton. However, that was it What was it that you actually saw then? Let us see if we can find the answer to that question.
Why not? Go ahead and try. But I have warned you that it's futile. You will find nothing here.
Well, it happened a long time ago. Whatever she saw might not be there anymore. And if we want to see exactly what she saw at that time, we'll need to set the whole town on fire. Want me to get matches? Funny, I may be an attorney, but even I couldn't clear you of the charges if you actually committed such a crime, Maya. Oh, come on, you can do everything. You're Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. I will pretend I did not hear that. Shall we begin? Let us look for the fire dragon. We can see the whole town from here. Look in every direction for something that would resemble Miss Cantabella's drawing. Oh no. Probably I'll have to do that. These trees could make good. Maybe not just yet.
Take that!
Oh no! Fuck! No, that was a mistake. Spella, what do you think? I don't know. It doesn't look like the dragon I saw.
Ha! I was right, not right.
It seems so, unfortunately. Oh, we're not done. I was just testing the waters. Mr. Wright, a gentleman should admit his mistake rather than try to cover it up with an unconvincing excuse. An excuse? That's what I get for imitating the professor. Nick, what was that about biased assumptions that the professor said earlier? They're what prevented us from seeing the truth. So let's approach this with our minds wide open. And our eyes wide open too. Huh? Huh? Is this the dragon I'm looking for? This looks like the Great Witch. This doesn't look like a dragon. This one... This one is a dragon!
Take that!
I found it! Espella, can you have a look at this? It looks like the dragon was hiding in here after all. Oh! This is... Hey! That's identical to the one Espella drew. But, it's not the fire dragon. The fire dragon was a creature made of flames. It was so big it could swallow this whole tower. This is just some tiny fretwork. I think we can consider this mystery solved. I suggest we all head back to the court. I will explain everything there. Is that all right with you, Mr. Cantabella? So, apparently Layton already figured everything out. Okay, share it with us, you smartass. What's gotten into Mr. Cantabella? He looks paler than you do with a cold. I have no idea. Let's follow the others back to the courtroom. You know what my thoughts are? Since people don't remember about their past before coming here, maybe Spella isn't even his daughter. And I don't know.
The Inquisition's investigation seemed to have yielded some unexpected results. But, can someone explain them to me?
Your Honor, the Inquisition will interpret the results of this investigation. A witness. You said you were about 6 years old at the time of that incident. Yes, that's right. Did you see the moment the dragon appeared above the town? Huh? No, I don't remember. I remember seeing it at some point. It was like a flash. The town was ablaze and this fiery beast was hovering above it. Then, when you noticed the dragon, the town was already engulfed by flames. Yes. That information completes the picture. Miss Cantabella's statement has offered me an insight into the true story of the fire dragon. Over 10 years ago. Oh, she's so cute. Miss Cantabella was in Belfry unconscious. Just like this time, huh? What events led to this? Perhaps we will uncover that in due course. When she awoke, the whole town was on fire. Having inhaled much smoke, she was still dazed. She was only vaguely aware of her surroundings when she looked up, alarmed by the scorching heat. Unable to stand, she was on her knees. And then, she saw something she would remember her whole life. She saw a terrifying fire dragon attacking the town. She saw it through the fretwork in the balustrade. The shape of the dragon against the backdrop of the town being swallowed by fire became imprinted in her memory. That is the truth about the fire dragon. This is what I have deduced. Okay. Figures. It wasn't a monster. Miss Cantabella, the illustration you have drawn for us bears an uncanny resemblance. That's a surprise though. She says she saw it for like a second or something, for a moment, and she can draw it in such details? Like, what? You saw the dragon when you were confused, possibly mildly asphyxiated from the smoke. There was no magic and no magical beast. You believe a stranger, but not your father. That's so typical of teenagers. You should have listened to me. And now that all the mysteries have been unraveled, can we not end this trial and go home?
Objection.
As much as we'd all like to, I'm afraid it is still a bit too early for that. What else do you want from us? There is just one more problem I'd like to solve tonight. One more? What on earth could it be? Miss Cantabella, we have ascertained that you were in the belfry when you saw the dragon. However, that creates a new question. How did you get there? Oh, I haven't thought of that. Yeah, neither have I. Oh. As expected of an ace attorney, Mr. Wright seems to have noticed the problem too at last. At last. Ace attorney. When everyone were pointed out to this question here. In order to access the belfry, you need to use the bell tower mechanism. The mechanism can only be set in motion with a pendant. Indeed. Miss Cantabella, did you have your pendant with you at the time? Yes, I think I did. I always had it with me. But why did I have that pendant? I can't remember it at all. This pendant is not just for show. It's the key to the belfry. Why was she carrying it around? We must also not forget that one pendant does not suffice to operate the contraption. 2 of them are required. 2 pendants. Miss Cantabella, are you certain that you were alone in the belfry? No, I wasn't alone. I was there with a friend.
Huh. What friend?
Oh, Kitty? Eve, where did you go off to?
The friend you mentioned, was it this cat?
Yes, she's my best friend. We've always been together. Without Eve, I would have been so lonely. That kitty's always appearing out of nowhere to keep a spell company.
This cat must be pretty damn old now. It's been 10 years ago.
Of course she does. After all, Bezella is always accompanied by a black cat.
What you saw from the bell tower when you were little was so terrifying that even an adult would have been scarred for life. The town burned in front of your eyes. You thought you saw a fire dragon. You see, your memories have been twisted by the horrors you saw.
What do you mean?
The dragon you saw wasn't real, and I suspect that the friend who was with you in the bell tower might not have been that cat.
No, it was her. It was Eve, my only friend.
Miss Cantabella, the pendant needed to access the belfry is too large for a cat. Are you following? If Eve was with you, it would have been impossible for you to enter the belfry. Wait. Inquisitor, where is all this going? You have no right to tamper with my daughter's memories. You are right, of course. However, neither do you. Nor should you attempt to cover up the truth.
No, you're wrong. Eve was my only friend.
Think about that day again, Miss Cantabella. You went to the top of the bell tower with a friend who also had a pendant. Well then, why don't we have the defense present some evidence? Why me? Can you prove that someone was Miss Cantabella in the belfry that day? Not before I save the game. If so, I'd very much like to see the evidence. What? Why me? Seriously, yeah, it was Professor's idea. I have nothing on the legendary fire. Why ask me for the proof? Right. I suppose you wouldn't have any proof. Not one of us remembers that incident. I've had enough of this, Your Honor. You have no grounds to continue this trial. Well, we appear to have reached a dead end. There is nothing else for us to do.
Objection.
I guess Layton does have something. Please hold on, Your Honor. Oh, what is it, all of a sudden, Inquisitor Layton? The defense does not have the necessary evidence, but someone else does. What do you mean? This time the Inquisition will present its evidence. The Inquisition will present evidence? Huh? Wait, seriously? You son of a witch. Funny. This is what you wanted from the very start, isn't it? Well, in that case, the Inquisition shall present evidence that somebody was with Miss Cantabella in the bell tower when she saw the fire dragon. Oh my god. This is the evidence? I guess picture of two girls.
Have a look.
This is the proof. This photograph shows Miss Cantabella with a friend. Golly?
This is the finest illustration I have ever seen.
It's actually a photograph.
It looks as if it were a reflection of the real world on paper. Tell me, who created this exquisite work of art?
Well, Your Honor, I understand you're fascinated, but let us focus on what this picture shows. This picture was found in the storyteller's tower. Miss Cantabella, we have taken the liberty of borrowing it for this trial. It's enough to look away for a second and you already caused trouble. Professor, aren't photographs against the rules? I mean, this is supposed to be a medieval setting. Who cares? What's important now is helping Miss Cantabella to grasp the truth. And in this case, the end justifies the means. Please take a close look at the two girls in this picture. Each of them wearing a pendant.
Why? That's so. They are the belfry contraption pendants.
We know that one of these girls is Miss Cantabella. But then, who is the other girl?
Accused? Do you have any ideas?
I think it's obvious. She looks exactly like, you know who. Espella, are you okay? It doesn't look like she is. It's me. And the other girl is... she's... I don't know.
Spella. Your Honor, stop this trial. Stop it right now. Can't you see you're driving Spella into insanity?
Objection.
It's just the opposite, Mr. Cantabella. If we turn away from the truth now, Espella will close herself to the world forever. Mr. Wright. Yes? You know who it is, don't you? It's obvious. You know the identity of the other girl in this picture.
Is that so? If the defense knows that, tell us all who this girl is.
It's Miss Darklow here.
Take that!
I'm thinking it's High Inquisitor Darklow.
High Inquisitor Darklow? I cannot say I didn't have slight suspicions about her, but oh my.
Miss Cantabella, what do you say? Do you now remember the girl next to you in this picture? I was with Lady Darklow?
This is crazy. What are you basing this preposterous claim on? But Mr. Cantabella, this girl closely resembles the High Inquisitor. Resemblance? That's just your personal opinion. It's meaningless in the court of law.
Objection.
If you want evidence, I've got it. Really? Let me save the game then, because what the hell are you talking about? I have no idea. The definitive proof that the girl in the picture is High Inquisitor Darklow is... hint. It's probably her pendant? Must be.
Take that!
just a second before I realized it must be a pendant. And this proof is proof it was the High Inquisitor.
The pendant needed for the contraption in the bell tower.
I have Miss Darklow's testimony here. She said this pendant was hers. Yep. And so, the other girl in the picture is definitely Miss Darklow. Is it? Is it really? Huh? Eve? Where are you going? Oh. What? I was expecting you, Miss Darklow. I see that I was not mistaken about you. I trusted in your ability to get this far.
High Inquisitor Darklow? Where did you just appear from?
Does your memory not serve you well, Your Honor? You know what I mean, what I am. I can disappear at will at any time I wish to. So, storyteller, everything has worked out just as you had written. Oh, revered creator of Labyrinthia.
Darklow.
Lady Darklow. What is going on here? Miss Darklow, did you enter the belfry with Miss Contabella when you were little? Yes, I did. Then you have memories of events from before 10 years ago. I certainly do. Okay.
Order! Order in the court!
Lady Darklow, you were with me? Your memories have been suppressed by that man. But I was with Eve. Eve, huh? Eve, the black cat? Yes, she was always been my dear friend. She was by my side on that day too. What a bizarre coincidence. Darklow isn't my real name. What? Then what is your real name? Eve? Obviously, it's Eve.
What? What?
You were Eve? Eve, Spella, my dear friend, Eve. It can't be. That flashback, was it real?
Darklow, why are you doing this? Are you trying to undo everything I have accomplished in the past 10 years?
No. You have already ruined everything yourself.
What is it that you want?
What I want? My aim is to make the truth known so that everything returns to how it is. Miss Darklow, will you tell us what you remember about what happened back then, more than 10 years ago? It would be my pleasure. It was the day of the fire festival. Espelle and I went up the bell tower. The wind was strong that day. When the sun had set, the festival began. It's true that the whole town burned down that day. The fire consumed buildings and people, turning them into ashes. We were the only survivors. We stayed in the belfry while the world below us was being eaten by the hungry flames. Oh my god. The legendary fire is no fable. It happened here more than 10 years ago.
Objection!
There are no such things as magic and fire dragons, so how could a whole town be destroyed in just one night?
Yes, that's something I'd like to know as well. Even if we assume the celebratory fires got out of control, surely the whole town wouldn't have perished like that.
Now it all makes sense. Wait, did you say that? That was the missing piece of this puzzle. What do you mean, Professor?
I can imagine now what transpired that night, what happened in the belfry, and what caused the legendary fire.
We have all the clues we need. Huh? Okay.
If the Inquisition has evidence to show us, I'd very much like to see it.
Let me save the game first.
What caused the legendary fire?
It's made of pure silver. Remember, people lose conscience when the bell... but I don't know. Let's use the hint. I hope it's not the girls. That would make no sense.
Have a look.
The cause of the fire is in the belfry.
It was the bell?
That bell had been made by the natives and later sealed underground. It was called the Bell of Ruin. Bell of Ruin? By the way, why does this bell have such an ominous name? Because it's made of silver. Apparently that made people unconscious. Yeah.
Pure silver?
Exactly. Mr. Contabella has told us earlier that everyone who lives here has a very peculiar condition. This condition makes people fall unconscious upon the sound of a certain metal being struck. That is being silver.
Yes. And we've been told the condition is brought about by drinking the groundwater.
Indeed. That bell was also the reason why the original inhabitants of this area decided to forsake it. It seems that the Bell of Ruin caused a devastating disaster. To those who have gained entry into this sanctum, heed our words. You must not ring the Bell of Ruin.
I can't help but wonder what disaster this bell had caused.
An enormous bell made of pure silver, and the locals with their peculiar condition, it's not too hard to imagine what happened. It was probably the same calamity as the one that happened over 10 years ago. And that is, well, what disaster happened to this town before Labyrinthia was built? Everyone ceased, as storyteller told us. The legend... No? Okay. Now, let us contemplate the following scenario. What would happen if the Bell of Ruin were sounded during the fire festival? Oh. Everyone who heard it would fall unconscious. As it was an annual festival, all the townspeople were assembled in the town square. Oh dear. Therefore, on the night of the fire festival over 10 years ago, all the residents instantly lost consciousness when the bell was struck. Oh no! Had it been even just slightly windy that day, the fire slid for the great witch Bezella would have gone out of control, and they would spread through the town with no one left to stop them. Because everyone was unconscious. Exactly. That also includes the two girls who were in the belfry. Espella and I. You are the closest to the source of the sound, so it was inevitable. When you recovered consciousness, it was already too late. The town had been swallowed by flames, as if a fire dragon had come to burn it. That was a calamity caused by the bell. Calamity. You say here that the cause of the calamity is the great witch Bezella. That night, in this very town, Bezella was more than a mythical person.
Bezella. She's losing it again.
What the hell?
The Bell of Ruin. Bezella.
Oh no, you just didn't. What happened? Did she lose it or something? Well then. I hoped we're gonna finish it today, but yeah, I feel quite tired, and it seems like there is another probably same part as this one is awaiting us, so we're gonna have to wait a little more. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next part, which is probably gonna be the last one. So yeah, make sure you're gonna be there. Take care and have fun. Bye.